topic, raw, unfiltered. So sit back and relax. Melanie P. Talk to him.
With Melanie P.
That's Scary with Melanie P. Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Melanie P. Listen, last week I sang that song, and I feel like I might have to incorporate that in my intro because I like how that sounded. We have a special guest this week. So listen, this is the week or the month of Libra. This is officially Libra season. I've had one Libra last week that y'all seem to love, and I have another Libra.
Hey guys.
Welcome to the episode.
A special Libra because we actually have the same birthday. So you know.
I'm scared.
Libra rules.
I have never in my life met someone else that had my same birthday.
Same here. Honestly, every time I tell someone that when they say their birthday's in September, it freaks me out because all my friends, their birthdays are like the first 2 weeks of September. So I have anxiety because it's like, let me get these both birthdays close together.
right.
I'm always the only one that closed it out. But when you said that your birthday was 9:30, I was
I thought you were lying at first. I'm like, girl, or like not lying, but I thought I misheard you.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, 9:30, bitch. Wait, what? The last day. I feel like the last day of the month, that's special.
And not only that, like our vibes are like exactly the same.
So
So to meet a Libra and then also where you guys are just like the same exact person.
You know what's funny? I'm waiting for something horrible to happen. Is that not horrible?
No.
Not nothing horrible to happen. That sounds horrible. But I've had a lot of weird. It's funny we're going to touch on this, but I've had a lot of weird friend experiences where people being really weird. You know what I'm saying?
Or it's like too good to be true.
Too good to be true.
Yeah.
Or they show a different side, or they just, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to touch on that. I'm really like, especially like in adulthood, like when you're making new friends, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to give you all my flaws up front. So if you're like, nah, bitch, I can't take this shit, I'll be like, all right, cool. Like we can't be friends. But yeah, that's what like in the beginning, it's like, I'm just going to be me. Like, I feel like, sometimes when you're in like certain professional spaces, like people try to like be something they're not. Like, I have nothing to fucking prove. Like, bitch, you take me for who I am. And if you don't, peace out.
Exactly.
So,
and you know what's weird, and not to be funny, but I feel like if somebody don't like a Libra, I hate
they're
to say
the problem.
that.
Yeah,
they're the problem.
No, seriously. Yeah.
Don't cancel me, y'all. But I really, truly, genuinely feel that way.
Yeah.
I truly feel like we are the easiest people to get along with.
So kind, so nice, and to be honest, like, you can put us in a room where we know no one, and then like by the end of the day, like we're like, hey, girl,
I know,
what's up? Like,
I know.
That's we got to talk about how we met, because then that really just validates the point of like why.
Listen,
a story to be had.
Right. So every week I start the episode with a mental health check-in, and a part of my mental health was this kickball game. So how we met? Do you want to tell it? This sounds like we're dating.
Honestly, like, it was a speed date. Okay, so let's on some real stuff. So I don't know, like, I feel like this part in my adult life, I feel like I've done like the brunch thing, the hanging out with your friends and going out to different lunch spots. And then, like Charlotte, like it's up and coming. So there's so many things to do. Yeah. But one of my husband's friends was like, hey, they have like this co-ed kickball league. Yeah. And I don't even know the last time I've ever played sports. So I wasn't even going to fake it. I was just like, you know what? Like, what the hell?
Right.
And then my husband was like, oh, we should do this. And in my mind, I felt like that would have been a good bonding moment for us. And I'm really, trying to do that black love thing where you are not being selfish, because as a Libra, like sometimes I'd be like no. So I signed up for the kickball league, showed up, and I don't know, like,
what were your thoughts when you first came up to the field?
On some real stuff, I was like,
what have I done?
We were like the only like 3 black people there.
Oh, our team is so black.
Well, now, but that's because like half of them I invited. And then like, well, not really, but I'm just saying, you mean like the black or the white?
I feel like and again, we're just whatever, but like when our first and or second game, when the umpire or whoever you call them was being kind of weird, I'm thinking, oh my God, is it because we're like black? Like our team was given like West Charlotte.
Yeah, like
it
it was definitely giving like a cheat. Like the umpire, I was just like, I don't know. Like for some reason, I feel like he calling all the shots like for the other team, but
not like that.
Yeah, like but that was me. I was kind of nervous in the beginning because I was like, I'm not really trying to be the only black person out here, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to be the token black friend, and we'll get into that too, like at some point. But you don't want to be the token black friend, and I felt like a lot of the vibe in the beginning was just like, oh my God, like, and then when you showed up, I was like, oh shit.
Was I the second person to show up?
You were like, you came at the same time with your husband, and I was just like, okay, like, thank God, like we're not the only two Black people. And then I invited my other friends, and so it's giving diversity right now.
Yes, it's giving like UNCF or something.
It's giving the company can keep going because we've met our
Diversity
Black.
and inclusion.
Yeah, exactly. So we've met the mark, so we can keep it going.
Right.
And I don't know, like that's the goal. Like I am going to keep inviting my hella Black friends because the type of music Mel has been playing to these games,
I was so
like
scared.
Sexy Red, Meg
my
Thee Stallion,
God.
Cardi B, like
Listen.
these white people are used to hearing Georgia.
What's Taylor Swift?
No, but what's like their thing, like that they play at like weddings and they all freak out? What song is
What
that?
song? Oh, I know you're talking about. Oh my God, my mind has drawn a blank.
I can't think of it. Like
It's like
that
a good karaoke song too.
yeah, like they go ham like for their song. Like we go ham for Meat Mill and you know, I don't remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll figure it out. But more of the story is
My music is so scary.
yeah,
At the
she was
football game.
twerking at the game. The umpire was like he was like, wait. And she's twerking on first base, and I was like, girl, keep it going, because like at that point,
We need these points.
yeah, we need these points.
To be a Black team losing like that though, is
Yeah,
scary.
we are not winning. We have not won a game. To be at this point, like,
won a game.
no, we don't. We just come there to have fun. And
Now
that's
last
it.
week we was on some fun.
I don't know.
It was scary.
It was giving like Space Jam where you drink the juice. Like we were feeling ourselves.
Everybody was drinking.
Yeah, everybody was drinking and we were turning up. And it makes
Yes.
me feel like the drunker you are, like
The better
you play.
The
And
better
the
you
less
play.
you remember how stupid you look. And I think
You don't
that's
care.
yeah, I did
Yeah.
not give it crap.
Yeah. I feel like when I don't have a drink or two before I even start, I feel like I'm not playing good.
Yeah, I have anxiety, like many
God.
Black women out here. You know, like I feel like we always talk about it's a soft girl era. It's a
Right.
soft girl
Ooh,
/
soft
anxiety
girl.
era.
Yes, anxiety.
And so I gotta drink before I get started
I
because
know.
I be feeling dumb
That
as
is
hell.
giving you so many points, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But so like I played on the kickball league like 2 years ago. I'm really wondering if you had been on that league, girl, because it was somebody I just wanted to fight. Like she was so rude. Oh my God, I'll tell you that story after this. But I played on the kickball league before, so when I came up, I really wasn't caring. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have fun. Me and Jason actually played like year before last on the league. We had fun. Our team was okay. Our team actually was like this team as far as skill level, and we ended up like at the end of the league series or whatever, getting really good at the very end. I feel like that's gonna be our story because I don't think we suck. Yeah, you suck.
I think we suck.
You think we
I
suck?
think you're really just trying to be nice, and it's okay. Like
We don't suck.
we fucking suck, and it's to the point where
I don't think that.
I just think that we're good in like when we're in the field.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, like
We're good at the drinks.
We're good when we're drinking.
We
like,
look good.
We're in the field. Like for some reason, when they start kicking, like we can catch their balls. But when it comes to the kicking, which is like the point of the game, I just think none of us get off a home
Now
base.
that is true. Now, because the kicking part.
Yeah,
I think we're good.
Minus like Jason and like Sean, like the guys
Jason,
with like the good kicks that they get it like all the way out there that you have to go fish for it.
Yeah.
Like we can survive with them, and that's why we have points on our board. But the way we be kicking Mel,
guys.
like I mean,
Yeah.
at least we cute, and that's all that matters. When I'm out there, it's just like it's a little 1 and 2, and I don't know, like.
Okay, so I think because most people on our team, this is their first time playing, and
She's talking about me, but it's
no,
okay.
I'm talking about most people. Like even like I played before, so that don't mean nothing. But I feel
like this is our first.
yeah,
like, well,
you're getting comfortable.
Well, I'm disgusted because you played before, so you just literally outed yourself. So why are you playing like this?
Hold on, bitch. I know how to play
least
now.
I can say this is my first.
I have gotten several points. Now that first game, I even put on my Facebook, bitch. I have scored like 3 points,
Let me
and that's
tell
when
you
I had
guys,
the margaritas. So I was
she
doing
was
really
crying on Friday. She was crying
I
because
was.
like apparently like she like got to first base, and then the person that kicked, she was like trying to run
Ready
to
to fight.
second,
Ready
and
to
then they
fight.
got her, like they outed her,
Ready to
and so
fight.
she was literally on the field.
I was angry.
ready to fight,
I
like
was
asking
angry.
people like 21 questions. Like,
was angry.
girl, you're not 50 Cent. Take your L.
No,
walk off, and you
no.
dead. She was being so
No.
extra. It was like Mel.
Extra.
She was like, because she was like, is it because of me? Are we out
was-
because of
that
me?
was edible.
Yeah. She was like, are we out because of me? And like, no one wanted to tell her the truth. And like, finally, it was like, yeah, bitch,
So
we're out because of you.
Let me just clear this up. We were out. We didn't lose because of me. We were out because of me.
We didn't lose because of
but
her.
that round we were.
But like the third out, like so
Yeah.
we already got out because like the
Yeah.
person that was kicking their ball got caught. But like Mel tried to like move to the next
I
base,
know.
and so they were like, man,
I was trying because I knew that we were losing. losing. So I was trying to just get the second, but the person that kicked, something happened, and then I had to rim at the first. But child, at this point, it was just too much.
So basically, it was like 1-2, and then we were out.
We were gone.
And yeah,
I feel like because when I played before, and this is not a kickball, this is not a kickball podcast, but I feel like whenever I played before, I was so focused, and the team was so fucking lame. It was like just losers. This was so weird. So it wasn't fun. It was just more so competitive, try to win pressure.
Yeah.
This time it's
fun.
And so I feel like I'm just kind of, even though I want to, I would never go up there doing what I do now. You know what I'm saying? When I played before, because I was really I was focused. Now I'm just having fun. And actually I prefer having fun than the last time I played, because our coach was really, really good. But
yeah, he's so nice. Like you can fucking suck.
And he'll tell you, you're doing a
shout
great
out to
job.
Tyler. Tyler will be like, Tyler gives Family Feud vibe. Good answer. Like
I love him. I really
like Tyler.
do.
I remember I
ain't never met nobody like that before.
Yeah, I've never met no one like that. Like
not a coach, especially.
No, like I kicked so bad, and he was like, "That was so good, Radiance. Do that again the next time." And I was like, okay. And I don't know, like,
but it's
he
good,
keeps
though,
me coming.
pressure,
because first of all, it's on a Friday. Y'all know when it's
After
Friday.
work.
After work, we just trying to turn up. We trying
late
to, like,
at night sometimes. Two games.
And I show up because the people that I play with are so
fun.
cool. And I think
most of them.
that's really important for life. Like in adulthood, I am the flake friend. I will flake on you in an instance.
Really?
I'm so proud that I'm even here right now, and I hope that people that know me see
Listen, here come the sad part.
I hope that people that know me see that I'm holding to a true commitment, because I'm here.
Now, what do you mean you flake?
I just feel like I'm that friend that when I'm in a good mood, I will like agree to the plans, and then I wake up and I'll be like, I just don't want to go.
Oh, well, no, that is me.
Yeah, and then I feel like I have to be honest with her. Like, we're so new in a friendship. It's like, Mel, I'm the flake friend. Like, we were supposed to do this podcast on Thursday. I was like, girl, like.
That is so scary. That's something that I would never want to say out loud, because
you're hiding that part of you. And then when you do it, people get offended. Like, I feel like I have to upfront be like, hi, my name is Radiance, and I flake. Hi, my name is Radiance, and it's okay if you cancel on me. I will not give a shit. Like, I think people are uncomfortable to cancel plans because they feel like, girl, cancel on me. I wasn't moving anyways.
That's new for me though. Like, I have never really been the flake friend, I don't feel like, but in the past, I would say 5 years, I don't know if I just got super comfortable, but like, I don't like making plans too far ahead, because
then your mood changes.
My mood changes.
Okay, but not only that, like, you will get upset, and this is why like friendships don't work out, because like you are like giving people the wrong impression of your commitment. Like, life be lifing, and
you're right.
I feel like if I tell you upfront, you won't take it personal.
That's
I
true.
still love you.
Set that expectation.
Yeah, like set that expectation, and that's why I always tell you, like, hey, like, okay, like, I'm down, and then if I flake, just don't think that I'm not prioritizing you. It's just like life be lifing, and I'm just probably not in the mood again.
Yeah. So when you say you flake, like, how far does your flakicity go? So would you have just canceled today?
No.
I was about to say no.
No, only because, well, no. Okay.
That's a yes.
Okay,
she would have canceled
all right, guys,
today.
I'm going to take a step back. Okay, like, this is what I said. She asked me early this morning, are we still on? If I said no, what would you have done? Be honest.
I'm about to be honest.
Okay.
Let me channel that. Let me channel that feeling, because if I...
This morning.
Now, early this morning, if there was actually like a not even a valid reason, but just like, you know, I'm just not feeling it, I would prefer that you tell me that, as long as you gave me time.
Yeah.
As long as you...
I would have never did it an hour before. Like,
because that's happened to me, and I literally put on an episode, I was ready to fight that lady, but I didn't know her. But and she asked, people will be asking me, it's weird.
Yeah.
But if you would have told me like early, I wouldn't even be tripping, because that would have gave me time to plan.
Yeah.
I would have made a mental note.
Yeah.
But
like,
I would have, you know,
strike one against
not
Radiance.
even a strike, but just, you know, okay. Huh.
Yeah. I wouldn't have, because the day of.
Yeah.
And it's something like, this is business, right? Like, we're cool and we're having fun, but this is business.
Yeah.
I do flake on things that are like casual.
Yeah, frivolous.
That it's like, that holds no merit. It doesn't impact you. I mean, okay, you miss a meal. We didn't get the brunch.
Yeah.
Ooh, but
yeah,
like, this is business.
I wouldn't trip on that.
No. So I flake. I'm the friend that will flake on things that are not that serious.
Yeah.
Like, we were going to go to the mall, or we're going to go hang out. Like, things like that.
Now that's me, because my mood changes.
Yeah, like, and I'm probably not in a mood, but this is business, and I'm also like very, I get really defensive or I get like really like protective when I feel like people my money, like you know, like stuff like that. Like so for me, I wouldn't. But I feel like Thursday we had like enough time to be like, no, because we were already like play a game if we were going to do Thursday or Sunday. So but
and that's why I was very slow in responding to you because I had to be like, oh, now what time? Because I didn't want to like schedule and then be like, oh, bitch, I can't do this. So that's why I was like slow in responding because I'm like, she don't know me that well yet, and I don't want to tell her like this time, and then I'm like, oop, never mind, it's canceled.
I actually but now that you know that, I do not care.
Really,
I truly do not care, and I feel like.
But if you did care, you would say something. Because I feel like I don't be caring too, but if it's really something important to me, I will say something.
People are asking you to be on your podcast. I felt very honored to be asked. That means like, oh, she fucks with my personality.
And I do.
She loves me.
I know everybody else.
No, yeah. But I feel like I don't care. I'm a low maintenance friend. I'm a low maintenance person. I'm high maintenance when it comes to my man. Like you better not be canceling on me or you ain't getting this. But dead. Stuff like that. But like for my friends, dead psycho. But yeah, like I think friendships. I hope we touched on that because you know we were talking about kickballs to friendships, but this is a new friendship, and I hope this is not the last time I'm gonna be kicking it with you. And
this is really a dating series. This is a dating episode, y'all.
This is a dating episode.
If y'all haven't realized.
Yeah, we're literally dating each other. Because,
but it's true.
But how long ago did we met? We met like a couple weeks ago.
But you know, did we even talk the first time?
No, like we talked, but we talked in like a comedy talk. We talked as if like we were like, yeah, girl. Like,
but do you ever feel like, so this is something that I struggle with. Sometimes I feel like my personality can be too much. And you were talking earlier about kind of being fake or not being yourself. And I don't think it's me not being myself, but it's me just kind of, and I don't even say feeling the crowd, but just me kind of getting comfortable. I'm gonna always be myself, but I know there's levels to me.
Yeah.
So that first time I didn't want, I mean, actually that's a lie, because I feel like the first time I was kind of out there having.
You were? Okay, let me tell you.
I had them drinks, so I had them drinks actually.
Okay,
so.
I'll say a secret, and maybe it's the mimosa that gets it coming out. Where she's talking about different levels to herself. I do have different levels to myself. It's crazy because Mel is like now on 10, and my friends that I invited to the kickball game, one of them even told you like, oh my God, it's another Radiance. And that's because like Radiance, the true Radiance, I'm wild, buck wild, crazy. Oh my God. But if I'm in a professional setting, like I'm Michelle Obama. Yes. Like I have like different levels to my craziness. But one time, the first game, Sterling did something and I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it to you tonight or something like that. Like I said, like,
I was saying that the whole time that first game.
Wait, so that's the thing. So we get in the car and like, I get this whole lecture from him, like, oh, Radiance, you need to know your audience. You need to know your crowd. Like,
oh my God.
Sterling was like, oh my God. Sterling was like giving me this whole lecture. Like,
I got a lecture
you
too.
You said you were going to give it to me. And like all the white people were just like, ah. And I was like, you know, Sterling, like, this is who I am. Then I didn't hear Mel going off at that game. The second game, she started to do it. So then I walked over on the field and I was like, so she gets to do it, but then I can't do it. She out here talking about
I got a lecture too though.
But it's like,
that
why?
night we were saying Drew that night.
Yeah,
I got a lecture.
Drew was cool.
Did you hear Jason?
No, I did not.
He was like, why are you saying his name and nobody else is saying his name?
Okay, first of all, I was definitely hyping Drew up, so that's a lie.
Me too.
And Drew, okay, so Drew was this guy on the other team that
a young kid,
right?
Young white kid.
He's this guy on this other team that me and Mel were just like harassing him the entire day.
And he was harassing us back.
He was harassing us back. Like we were like, Drew, get off the base. You don't even know. First of all, we shit talking and can't even play.
Losing.
Like, oh my God, like who does that?
So
like that's
fun,
that's like cocky ass bitches. So anyways, right? So we were like talking crap to him and like he was loving it and we were loving it. And to be honest, we got through the game and we lost, but we got through it.
Right.
I didn't get a lecture, but I knew Drew felt like MVP of the day.
He
like
did.
To be a nobody and for two girls to make
and two black girls, you know what I'm saying?
Two black girls make you feel like you're something.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Drew might be coming to the other side.
I know.
You're welcome, guys.
Welcome. We welcome you in, Drew, because listen, we will get to that too. Listen, we have
gone
to the 20 minutes. We ain't even went to the
Oh my God.
Okay, let's scary. Oh my God. So how's your mental health? How's your mental health?
My mental health.
You gonna be honest or no?
Yeah, I can be honest. My mental health right now is just like, I think I could be in a better space, but it's professionally, I'm drained only because like I've been in leadership for like over like 10 plus years. And right now it's like starting to really kick my butt because I have to manage like 18 people and I'm just like one person. So my mental health, I can say, is just like it needs some work, but it's okay. I have an upcoming mental health day and I'm going to be in a cabin this weekend. So maybe, maybe I'll forget about my life. But I have my ups and downs, and I feel like it is okay to be honest about that. Like, one thing is I'm tired of being a strong friend. I was a strong friend for so many years. I literally had to hit up my friends. I was like, let me tell y'all something. I do not want to be the strong friend anymore. Do not come to me with your problems, because I got my own. And I have a lot of crap going on. And because I like hold it together really well does not mean I'm doing well. And that's the thing. Like, I was told by my cousin that my social media gives the wrong impression, because on social media it's like, this bitch is happy, like she's like, and I'm not saying I'm miserable.
This is just so freaky to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm miserable, because like, you got to be careful. Like, I'm crying in Bentleys right now, so like, you really have to be careful with what you're saying. I'm not saying I'm sad or depressed, but I am saying like, I'm just drained with life, and I'm trying to start over.
That is so authentic. Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to start over. So that's where I'm at mentally.
Girl, I'm in the same damn place, and that's, I don't like, I mean, it's freaky, it's scary to me. It's like what she said basically is what I can say. Like, it's funny because on my social media, it'd be looking like, oh wow, her shit look perfect, number one. And then it's like, I can, even with this show, like, I'm gonna be all the way real. Mental health, I be trying to, like, I always say every episode, I'm gonna keep it real. When it comes to this show, like, sometimes it's difficult when you have life stuff going on, but you have to come on camera and perform. Like, I feel like I'm a naturally happy person, whatever, but life do be lifing. Yeah. So it's like, it's just a constant tug of war. I guess in my current mental health, it's like a tug of war of like, okay, all this shit going good, but this shit going bad. Tug of war. Yeah. Like, and I feel guilt because it's like, people be having real problems, and I'm trying to stop saying that because my problems are real. Like, the shit I'm going through is like right now. So
I get exactly.
But I have, I'm not, I live a really well-to-do life, but that doesn't, I mean, that matters, but it doesn't matter because shit be happening. You know what I'm saying? So I guess with my mental health, it's okay.
Yeah. And that's
right now in this very moment, my mental health is good. In this moment, my mental health is good. And I'll say that.
I feel like when we say like we have to be careful what we say, is like, okay, so for instance, I saw like this post that'd be like, do you have a house? Yes. Do you have a car? Do you have a job? Like, do you have food in your fridge? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to like balance out, because I do know that there's people out there that's struggling with stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 2 kids. I'm married. I work full time. On top of that, like, I'm in like other organizations outside of just like my job and stuff. Wow. So it's just a lot, right? Like, it's like everybody wants a piece of you, and you're trying to give pieces away, but like, you're going to eventually start pouring from an empty cup. And I'm trying to pour back into me. Like, I'm trying to like be like, no, I don't want, like, I am starting to turn down things or say no to things, like when people like ask me to do certain stuff, because it's like, I'm taking my power back. I am a Libra, like, we have a hard time disappointing people.
Oh my God.
And it's like, I don't want to disappoint people, but then like, when I don't disappoint them, I disappoint myself, and then we're back at square one. And I ain't got time for it. I really don't. And I'm anemic, okay? My iron level, y'all. I was talking to Mel or something. I was like, girl, I'm in my bed. Like, and that's the thing. The moment I'm in my bed, I'm not getting out.
My bed is my happy space.
Me too.
And movies are my happy space.
Me too. And I love romantic movies.
Well, I like.
What's
horror?
She's insane.
Horror. I watch horror all day. I watch horror to go to bed. I watched horror last night before I went to bed. Before I lived with Jason, I would literally watch, because he don't like horror. I would watch a horror movie every night just to go to bed.
What is wrong? Okay, like, what is your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror character, and everybody knows, is Michael Myers. I love him. I love Michael Myers. I gotta let you see my personal Instagram page, because there's a video where this guy was dressed up as Michael Myers, and it was just the best night.
And you know what's a horror movie to me that I would watch is Scary Movie, and that's not a horror movie. Like, that's the thing. Like, I hate horror movies. Like, there's nothing I'm getting from that. Movie. I like romantic movies. I just love romantic movies. I love happy endings. Too, actually. I hate movies. But I love horror. I can't.
You like Tyler Perry movies?
Hell no.
I hate Tyler Perry
don't like their wigs annoy me. Like, this set annoys me.
Woe is me, black woman.
I can like tell when someone's glasses change. Like, my family works in the entertainment industry, and so like, I can tell when things are just not edited correctly. By the way, like, this bitch takes her stuff serious.
Period. By myself, bitch. That's why my mental health is
Yeah, like, it's just not my thing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it, y'all. So this is really good energy. This gives me everything. Okay. All right, so we have a little outline. You know how I do.
Yeah.
And the first thing we're talking about is, oh my God, all year, but especially this last couple of weeks, it's been breakup after breakup after breakup after breakup. Most recently, Jeannie Mai. So I have some videos on that. So make sure y'all, that video is really good on YouTube. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Jenny, I got a list. Jeannie Mai, Tiana Taylor and her husband, who I never thought, Khadijah Hawk and Bobby McRae. So I don't know if you know them, but that was those twins from
Kardashian.
Yeah.
And ATL.
So Sofia Vergara, whatever, her husband, like every couple of weeks, a couple
What
is
about
breaking
like
up.
Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom? Oh my God.
What are your
Richard
thoughts
Lawson.
on all of these like breakups?
Okay, so this is what I think it is.
And let me just say, how long have you been married?
10 years.
Say that again.
10 years.
How long have you been married?
10 years.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so let me tell you why. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think is happening right now. We're all like idolizing relationships, and relationships go through real things.
Yes.
And then when they actually break up, we're like, and then you forgot to mention like Tia and Corey too. Like, that was a big one, right?
That was a horrible one.
And she's still
That's
like,
when I knew that we were all doomed.
oh, we're done. Like, it's official.
We're all doomed.
I mean, yeah. Like, so I feel like what happens is people forget that you are always dating the person you're with, even post marriage. And I feel like I'm 10 years in and we're like starting over. So like the first 5 years was just like trying to get to learn each other. And then like the next 5 years is like practicing compromising, which I'm really not good at, and I'm not even gonna admit on it. And I think it is like being honest with yourself and realizing that therapy is something that you shouldn't just wait until it gets rough. Like, you should go through it. So like we do marriage counseling. I feel like people don't talk about this a lot, and then what happens is like it gets so bad. And believe me, my marriage is it's far from perfect.
Right.
It's like so far from perfect, but that's the key thing, right? To remember your marriage is not perfect. And what happens is some people try to like idolize these relationships as perfect, and they go through real thing. The part I appreciate though with like Tiana and Iman is like she was clear. She was like, listen, it wasn't no cheating allegations. We've been separated for some time. You guys are just not in a group chat. That already lets you know like they have their own understanding, and sometimes people do grow apart, right? And that's what the important part of dating is, because like I've been married, but who I was the first day. I'm not.
I always say that.
Yeah, I'm not the person I am now. Like, I'm so different. I already told you guys, I got anxiety and I'm fucked up in the head. Like, you gotta love it. And I feel like you have to have someone that's gonna love you through all those changes. Body changes.
And open to grow with you,
Exactly. Like physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, like your pleasures.
Having babies and losing sexual appetites, because I talk about it a lot.
Your sexual,
oh
my God. Like, that's so sad. Like, after you have a kid, your entire demeanor just changes.
Everything.
Yeah. And it's like you have to start over and you have to love that person through that. So moral of the story is I'm not too surprised. Now, Jeannie Mai and I don't know, like, y'all, it's some back and forth things there. This is where cultural differences makes a significant thing.
Said, exactly.
I heard through the tea that she wanted to walk her kid to school.
Yes. She likes the camera.
Yeah,
and like he doesn't.
And you know what's the crazy thing? That's my relationship. My husband has a social media, but not like social media. Like he used to like creep on Instagram for like the Shade Room and like Neighborhood Talk. Yeah. And then like Instagram did this thing where you only can have an account to be able to access those pages, because he was going through Google. So he like created this like bogus account just so that he can like.
But that's very good though.
But yeah, that's healthy, because he was getting his tea from Yahoo, and I'm like, he will come to me 2 weeks later.
God.
And he would be like, Radiance,
so sad.
DMX died. I was like, bro, that was like
that was like 5 years ago.
That was 5 years ago. Like, his tea was like so delayed, and I guess he got frustrated. But more of the story is, I also can't date a social media man. Like, I love social media. Like, I'm on social media all day, every day. But my man can't, because what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's how like that drama starts. So I am okay with my man being a social media man. I'm so happy we're gonna post this on YouTube, because I'm gonna let him go on YouTube to watch this.
Let him. Keyword, let him.
Yeah, you know, but I don't know. I just feel like you have to like find your person, and you have to be okay with your person evolving. I'm scared that he eventually like taps into social media, because this has been like a 10-year thing that he's been against it.
I feel the same thing. So Jason doesn't have any social media. I feel like he don't even know how to go to find it on his phone. Like how to find the app to even find the Instagram app to even download it. Like that's where we're talking about. But as soon as I started the podcast, he was on the first several episodes, and I remember like episode 2. I was like, are you turning into an Instagram thot? Because now, he was hearing like all of like people saying, oh, bring Lambo back, whatever. I'm like, you're not an Instagram thot. Stay over there. This is not your lane.
Don't listen to them. Yeah. Don't listen to them.
Yeah. So it's like that's one thing about him that I really like, that he's not into like Instagram, because I always feel like I could never imagine being with a man who be on Instagram posting and every day.
And no offense to the ones that's watching this now, like we definitely respect you. Sometimes you got like the people that are this is your creative space, but I personally cannot date a man.
A husband, I don't know.
I cannot
like commenting. I feel like what else? If you feel good, like if husbands who be liking other women's pictures, like that's a big like stretch. So how far are you willing to go that I can't even see that you're doing? Who DMs are you in? Like, you liking a bitch post.
Yeah. And then also there's boundaries too. Like I do have access to my husband's like fake social media page, which is Instagram. His Finsta. He is so really weird about it because he really just goes on there for the tea. And then now his stories are up to date. Thank God.
Do y'all share passwords?
We do, but not for like it wasn't like I need to have your password. Yeah, like we're just so close. Like even if we didn't share passwords, he's like very predictable. So I always know the passwords, like to every single thing. Like if he drops off the face of the earth, I'll survive because like I can get his iCloud, everything, but I don't have to because like we share passwords across the board. And that is just because our relationship, I know people is like 50-50, like what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. This might not work in every marriage. So don't listen to me. And when your man end up taking half your money in your account and like go dips to Mexico, you'll be like, girl, Radiance told me that. Listen, that
come back to this episode and this
come back to this episode and remember that I said, disclaimer here. Wow. This works for me. We're half and half. We're not half and half. Like we have.
Y'all are, but 100 and 100, honestly.
Yeah, like literally, we share bank accounts. Like we share. We share everything. Like literally everything we share because like we built it together. Like I said, this is 10 years in the making, and so there's no point for you to have your piece and my piece because we built it together. I wouldn't have my home that I have, and I wouldn't have the things that I have if it wasn't for him. So
yeah, I'm telling you what's funny about what you're saying. So my brother, he has this thing with like women who want a man who makes a lot of money or this and that because he feels like y'all should, build it. Like I'm sure if he's listening right now or when he listens to this, he's gonna be like, yeah, I like that girl because he's so big into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we built it.
But like, let's say, God, and this is not gonna happen. We rebuke this right now. But let's say that you were ever dating again. Would you be open to dating someone that you had to that was still in the building phase?
No.
Yeah, it's a no.
I said I built it with my man.
Yeah,
I didn't say
because it's been. I want to emphasize that because it's been 10 years.
That is different, right?
It's very, very different.
I ain't gonna tell you my age, but just know, like 10 years ago, it would make sense for me not to have much, and for us to build it together. Right. But if I start over where I'm at financially, like just everything that I have, you gonna have to come with more or the same. Or we gonna get a prenup. Because we're probably gonna have a prenup.
But men are gonna hear what you're saying and be like, "Oh yeah, build together," but not understanding that 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Y'all were.
We
both
can build from that point forward, right?
Yeah.
We can build from that point forward, but my prenup will probably say that. Like anything we build, I think I read online that was Jeannie and Jeezy's prenup. Like whatever they build together, they have to split.
And I respect that.
And that's the thing. Like so, I am saying, I don't think I will probably ever. If worst case scenario, like if anything ever happened to my husband or me or whatever, like I don't think I'll ever get married again. Only because like
really as a Libra thing, I don't believe that.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Like I feel like I have to. I'm a relationship person, but also niggas ain't shit.
And
just like I'm so happy.
Life makes you. I feel like you probably wouldn't have had that same thought process like 10 years ago or like 5 years ago. Whatever.
I'm just so happy with my person. When I look at other people, I tell Mel this all the time. Like we went out to get some drinks in a bar. Like it was just like the energy out there was like, oh my gosh, like it's just like a different level. It's scary to start over. So you always have to wish the people that are going through their divorce, you do have to pray for them too, because like it's a struggle for them to have to start over, and also respect them because the fact that they even made that decision. Like I know a lot of people are getting on Tia, they feel like she's doing too much, and you talked about this, like where you were like you felt you were doing too much. No. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to do me 100% because I don't want you to fall in love with the wrong me, right? If I wasn't doing too much and then I finally start doing too much, you're going to be like, oh my God, you changed. And I'm like, no, this is me all the time.
Right,
so it's like, why even give that fake facade that you're like this chill person? And then when we link up, you're like, and then I'll be like, oh my God, like she's crazy. No, I'm going to give you crazy from day one so you could determine. And to be honest, I think that's what caught my man. He probably was like, "This bitch is crazy." And men,
that's how most
I think men like are attracted to crazy women.
They are.
I am crazy. When people are in my DMs, like trying to like hype me up or whatever, I don't even think they're real.
What saying crazy? What do you mean?
I'm.
What does that mean?
I'm undiagnosed bipolar.
Wait, what?
I'm just like.
And this is, Suicide Awareness Month.
Yes,
that was a far stretch, but go ahead.
No, like it's basically like my personalities change depending on my mood. So when I say the bipolar thing, like that's a significant thing. And you guys know I work in the healthcare sphere. You don't, but you know.
Now we know.
Now you know. But when I say that, I mean like my personality changes throughout the day. And so like for you to be with me, you have to be able to be like okay with tired radiance, hype radiance, emotional radiance, and anxious radiance, and be able to support me through all those changes. And I feel that like people fall in love with the person that they see on social media, but what you see on my social media at Call Me Rating, what you see on my social media is not me. Like that is my alternate personality.
Those are the highlights.
Yeah, like
highlight
it is. Like you're
reels,
seeing like a little bit of me, but you're not seeing the behind the scenes and what I'm going through in my everyday life. So we just gotta be careful. Like when you guys look at relationships, you only seen a glimpse, and that's not even them.
Right. Wow, we're getting all these. Okay, so last week, the last Libra that was on here, he was saying, and at the time I didn't agree with it, but now after my week of events, I agree. He was saying
a week to agree with what he said.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that because he's single, so when he is dating, he doesn't make anyone official until after a year. Because he feels like after a year is when people will really, truly show you themselves. And during that interview, whatever you want to call it, I was like, oh, hell no, because after 3 months, if we didn't official, you out of here.
Yeah.
Which I still agree with, but I can agree with both. Because people, and again, you've been married for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So out here in this dating world, people do not, but serious, people do not be showing, like stuff be popping up.
Yeah.
Stuff be popping up.
This is my thing, right? Which is why me and that guy are like clearly not together. And good luck to the women that he finds. But, a year is a long time. You got 1 week to fall in love with me and claim me as your girl. I do not care. You probably even got like 24 hours. Like if we meet,
but as a Libra, they will fall in love on that first date, bitch.
Listen to me. That moment you meet me, you already fell. But first of all,
that's true.
I want to see my man watch this and tell me it's different. The moment we have a conversation,
you're hooked.
You're like, who is this girl?
Yeah, this bitch crazy, but I like it. And I want more.
Clearly, right? Like, because we got married very young. Like, what man you know you taking out the game that long, right? A year? Absolutely not. My cousin and I had this argument because I think in a year we talking marriage because at this point it's like, what are we waiting for? Like I feel like you're going to be able to know someone real quick. I don't know what he's talking about.
But people can hide. And again, you are over 10 years out the game.
You're right, but I'm looking.
I've been in the game.
I be looking for those pink flags, and that's the flags that you ignoring. The pink flags. The moment you realize that you're planning all the dates, you're reminding him about stuff, like things are just supposed to be casual. And I feel like the problem with us is we ignore the yellow and pink flags. And then when we get to the red one, we're like, what?
Yeah, I can't listen. I'm mute. This is Beyonce mute right now. I can't say nothing because that is on. Like, we be ignoring the flags, and that is a sentence.
Yeah, like, and then whose fault is that? If that was them, I would be like, bitch, you dumb. Like, did you not notice the other 3 times you saw me on social media liking every other person? Like these are just things like casual stuff. Also, like if you're dating and you notice that this person's like always on social media, always complimenting other women, like always just like on their posts, to me, that's a red flag.
But see, there's these flags those are very much in your face flags, but they're flags that, okay, this seems kind of off, but maybe I'm tripping.
Like what? Give me an example.
So let's say, let me just pull something out of the sky. Nothing that pertains to me. Like mental health issues. I'm gonna throw it out there because it's mental health month, whatever. Mental health issues can sometimes take a minute to identify like the seriousness of them, especially if you don't have an experience with it. You know, it could take a minute to like be like, okay, this is really mental health. And people are good at hiding them. Like people are really good at hiding some mental health issues. And I could truly see how somebody could hide something for a very long time, mental health wise. You know, and if you haven't experienced it.
I don't know. And also, I'm not the person to ask. I work in the healthcare field.
Right, and I was thinking that, yeah.
I've been in the healthcare field like a very, very long time.
Right.
So I can like quickly pick up on narcissists and people that are just like
Mental
pathological
issues,
liar. Like,
yeah.
well, not pathological, that's not mental health, but you know what I'm saying? Like people that like legitimately like bipolar or people having episodes, right?
Right.
I think,
but the average person can't.
Yeah, the average person can't. And that's the thing. It also depends on the person. I do know people that are just loving and want to help. And people that want to help tend to be those that get caught in those relationships. Yeah. Like, I love to help, but if I help you and I notice that, like, you're just like a revolving door, I'm going to be like, something wrong here. Like, you know, and then also like for me, I just feel like guys, like I'm always looking for the lie in anything that they say. I'm just going to always look for that lie because like people are, it's like two truths and a lie. Like whatever someone tells me, I'm just like, Really? Because I feel like people tell you things because they're trying to impress you. Yeah. So like, no offense to my husband, but like when
I love that.
Yeah, right. No offense to him, but when we were dating, like I was always looking for the lie, and it wasn't because I felt like he was a liar. It was just to see like I needed to identify those red flags very early on before I even commit myself.
Even at that young age, really?
Yeah, like from a young age. Like we met when we were 18. Yeah, I think it was like 16. Like we met when we were 16, but we didn't start dating until we were like 19, 18, 19. But like I just feel like I could have quickly tell if he was like doing too much or if he was like lying or trying to overhype his financials. Yeah. Like, I mean, I felt like he was trying to overhype his financials because
well, at 16, what kind of funny?
like at 19, 20, because I found out through his roommates, like he like took me on this shopping spree and then was like late the next month with his rent.
That's kind of sweet.
Yeah, like his roommate told me that like way after we got married. It was like, by the way, like that man was late for his rent the second month. Oh my God. But I'm just saying, like I was looking for the red flags because it's like, I feel like what's worse, like for me, is that you give your all and then the person wasn't who they say they were. Like, why?
That's the worst.
Yeah. Why?
It's the worst. So you guys have kids, you know, and we have a kid together. And we have kids outside of our relationship. So how do you feel? This is the thing. This was a bullet point in my notes. We have to stop making it seem like having kids is a good thing. Listen.
Oh, it's hard.
Kids are beautiful. Kids are cute. But I feel like this is like society has messed us up to think like we shouldn't be celebrating. And I'm sorry, this is going to sound really bad, but I do not care. We should, like, example, Krishan Rock and Blueface.
Oh, my God.
That's not a celebration.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. Yeah. That's not a celebration. Yeah. Number one, they hadn't even been together long enough. When they have been together, it's been toxic. And that's just a really extreme example. But I feel like we have to stop hyping the happiness behind having kids. Is that bad to say? Like what are your thoughts? Because y'all have kids.
Yeah. So I'm going to touch on Krishan and Blueface real quick, right? But we're going to reverse. Which is why I feel like this is a safe space, right? Yeah, so whatever I say, please understand that, like, I mean, don't cancel us. Please, like, my first time being, no, it's not my first time. I've been on a podcast before. But anyways, right? Like, this is what I feel about it. I have 2 kids. I have a boy and a girl. I'm going to just be honest with you. After our second one, my husband, at a very, very young age, now it's a trend on TikTok, he got a vasectomy. And that already tells you, like, I hope that answers the question. Like, at a very young age, like, we're in the waiting room, and I promise you, I'm like, babe, why are you the youngest person here? it was scary to me.
12 years old.
12 years old, man. 12-year-old trying to get his vasectomy. But he was adamant. I just feel like children, they bring a level of complication with them. They're so sweet. Yeah. But they're also really expensive, and they're lives that you have to be responsible for. And everything so when changes. We say like everything changes, it's like everything that we plan, like we always have to like consider what
it's around the kids.
Yeah, like, and we can definitely still go on trips, and we can definitely like still like do things. Like that's the main thing too. I think that keeps marriage going. You have to find life outside of the kids.
Adjust and adapt. Yeah,
but kids are expensive, and then for me, I feel like my children are very used to what they have, and so we keep up with what we give them. But I just think that I don't know. I think that when you make that step, know this. And I tell everybody this all the time. If you want your relationship to work,
don't have no kids. Sorry,
that part. But no, the first year after you have a child is the hardest. The first 2 years after you have a child, because men are so jealous. And it's not just, and this is literally proven. I've seen it and read it. I've heard about it. Men become so jealous because as a woman, you immediately like immerse yourself into turning into a mother and being there for your child. And you begin to neglect the person that you're with, especially the first 2 years. You're breastfeeding, whatever it is, like you're all about the child. And that man has a hard time adjusting to that unattachment. And it creates drama because in your mind, it's like the baby. And the man is like, what about me? So I feel like you have to remember the first year to 2 years after a child is the hardest. And if your relationship makes it past that.
If.
Yeah, it's sad though.
I should have looked up the stats on that.
No, literally look up the stats and guys comment if you've heard of this. Like most couples break up within the first 2 years of having a kid.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so if you make past that, you're good.
That's horrible.
But you got to make it past that. And how do you make it past that?
Wow.
A lot of communication.
Therapy.
And
Counseling.
Therapy.
This is my thing.
And your job probably gives it for free.
Right. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Fuck these kids. I'm joking, not about the kids. But like, fuck the idea of having kids like without the proper planning and preparation. This is my thing. You gotta be prepared. You have to be prepared. I love kids. I love my baby that just turned 1. I love my kids at the end of the day. But at the same time, with my experience, if I had to tell somebody coming after me, plan. And you'll never plan everything. But you definitely want to get in. I don't care. Listen, people think that when it comes to therapy, you have a problem. Be proactive. Schedule a therapy appointment. Listen, as soon as you even think, listen, in a perfect world, and if I had to do it all over again, I want to find a therapist for me and my partner before we even decide to get married. And I want to find a therapist that we're both comfortable with. And every type, every transition, every life milestone, we're on the same page talking with our therapist. And I also believe, I remember in my first marriage, this guy said that it's really good to find another married couple that you guys feel comfortable with and that you trust to kind of help have those conversations with. Because sometimes like me saying it to my partner might be one thing, but him hearing it from a different perspective might hit a different way. So I think that, just having conversation. Again, I know I'm a Libra, so I like to talk. I like to understand. I like to be on the same page. And I feel like kids should be the very last thing on your mind. But when it even becomes to something that's on your mind, plan. Therapy. Absolutely. Conversations. Therapy. Talk to other people who got kids. Hear their perspectives. Like, when you're together, it's a team. When you're married, when you're with someone, you should be acting as a team. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to get an understanding. So like, let's say I didn't have any kids and you had kids and we were friends. Hey, how has kids changed your situation? Tell me your thoughts. Give me your advice, whatever. Like, have those conversations. Don't rush into that shit. And it's also hard. Yeah. It's also hard to have friends that don't have kids. You really have to start to transition, build out your friends based on where you're at in life. My best friends of like literally like 15 plus years, we had a hard time after I was the first. I mean, why I gotta be the guinea pig in the group? I was the first in the group that got pregnant and had kids, and we had a hard time connecting with each other because they would be like, just leave your baby home with the mom and let's go out. And they were so mean to me. Like one time I visited and I was like hanging out and I was like, hey, I can't do this because the kids. And it was like,
you always make an excuse. Well, you know, karma is she came back, they end up having kids, and I laughed because I literally was like, they genuinely apologized for how they treated me when I had my kid, because they were like, oh, you could just leave the baby. Like, it doesn't work like that, right? You can't just like dump your baby on your parents and stuff like that.
Well, I'm big for dumping my baby. Listen,
I mean, like, I was dumping, but you also gotta play your cards right. Like, I'm not gonna dump my baby on my parent for like an hour.
Something small,
something small. Like, I mean, it's a trip. Like, I know how to work my in-laws and my parents,
right?
But I feel like people don't think about that impact, and then when the child comes, and then it's like, oh my God, like, it's like all these things. You have to also be around married people too. I feel like when you get married, you have to have married friends.
Right.
I'm not saying like cancel all your single friends. Like half of my friends are still single, but you still need some married friends to be around to bounce those conversations off. And also it helps motivate. Yeah, like bring you all together. Like, and you never know. Like, girl, I hear people go on cabin trips and they go like all traveling with all their married friends. And I'm just saying, like, it's just such a good experience to be around other people that are married, and you can learn from them. And you realize,
feels safe. It really feels safe.
Yeah, like you, and then also we've had moments where we're like, oh, it's not just me. Like, we all going through this, and then we calm down and we talk. Sometimes your single friends, you're on the ledge and you're about to jump, and your single friends will be like,
push you, they will jump, bitch. Come back out here with us and be sad.
They will jump you, girl. Like, and when you talk to your married friend, like they talk you down. Like we've had conversations. We just met, but we still had like conversations where we're just like, you know, like
we're actually the same person.
Yeah, we literally like girl, ain't that deep. Like
from the same place with the same issues, bringing the same.
Yo, we both have men that are from DC.
Listen, more of the story, like, don't deal with no DC niggas. I'm joking.
They'd be crazy after Mumbo Sauce. No, that Google music had them wild.
Horrible. Yeah. And listen, I'm going to transition because you just talked about friends, right? And so, it's two things I want to get into. Let me make sure. Okay. Let's jump into the friendship, right? So one of the things we were talking about in the outline was friendships, right? And I was reading something on Instagram and it was saying like, okay, what's the worst out of the two? A breakup with your friend or a breakup with your man? Like in the beginning, we were touching on that, like friendships. Like what has your friendship journey been like?
So,
oh God.
No, it's something bad.
It's something bad?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I rarely make friends as adults. And if I do, then I vetted them and I made sure that they've met all requirements to be considered a friend. Because I could quickly put you in a category. I can call you my neighbor. I can call you my colleague. I can call you my kickball teammate. Right?
Shade.
So like, no, I don't call it. I call it a friend. Because I feel like you have to like vet them. I've had the same friends for years. Like my friends from elementary, junior high, high school, college. We went through all phases. I'm also from a small town. I'm from the Virgin Islands. And so we're all with each other. Right. And so when you make new friends, now I do have new friends, but I met them through either being a neighbor or my sorority or like a mom friend that turned into a very close friend. Right. And again, we build those friendships up. Like you started off as an associate and then we started to find like, oh, we have a lot in common. Commonalities, But would I be hurt over the friendship breaking up? No.
What?
I absolutely do not care. And I hope that I don't. I hope people don't. I hope my friends don't cancel me. But I'm going to explain.
I was not expecting you to say that.
I'm going to explain.
With a smile on your face as you say it. That is so funny.
I'm going to say this because it leads into mental health.
Right.
If I start caring about friendships expiring, I will have more mental health issues and probably may need to be seeing a therapist quite more often. Friendships expire.
Are you saying that because you're married though and you have your permanent friend? Did you feel that way before?
I'm learning this now through some wonderful books. Right. I've been reading Tabitha's Feed My Soul and stuff like that, Feeding My Soul. Like I'm reading these books and I'm realizing friendships do expire. Like Mel, like if it expires, it expires. We're not, it's no beef. Yeah. We've grown out of the space that we were in. I'm married, you're not. We couldn't work through it because I've been doing a little more things with my man and you are getting upset because I'm missing things with you, or I'm preferring not to be in a club anymore, but you still want to be in a club. Like, what are we going to do, right? I can't compromise too much because then I'm turning into someone I'm not. If the friendship expires, just don't make it a beef, right? Like, it expires. Like, there's some people you meet in certain spaces. For instance, there's people that I've worked with, and after I left, we thought we would still be friends. Yeah. And so we tried and tried, but the conversation started to die out.
But did you still have that energy for your longtime friends?
Oh, no, I can't cancel those.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, your longtime friends, because listening to you talk, like, I've never been the kind of person that's had a large friend group ever in my life. Even if I wanted that, I've never had, like, a large friend group. There's always been a couple of girls that I'm really close friends with.
I mean, like, long-term friends, breaking up with long-term friends.
Like, not people you just meet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid, if we don't be friends anymore, you probably won't, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, wait, ho.
I would be like, I would want to know why.
Yeah,
but my long-term friends, again, what if it expired? And with no beef? If we live in two sides of the world and we just don't have the same interest anymore.
Expired sounds so strong.
Expired happens, though. Like,
so I'm going to tell you my experience. So, I had a best friend, and we've been best friends literally since 11th grade. And I got married, and she was not married, but she was still there. She was still ride or die. My husband at the time did not like her, whatever. So we kind of like, you know, we weren't, obviously I was married, she wasn't, and he didn't like her for whatever reason. So we weren't as tight. Okay, whatever. We still maintained our friendship. She respected it. She understood it. And she never once said, oh, leave him, whatever. I had friends that was like that and whatever.
And those expired?
Those expired. But listen, I mean, whatever. This particular friend, we've been friends for a very long time, and, you know, got married, got divorced, and we were friends all through that. We had kind of different lifestyles. Again, married, you know, divorced with a child. You know, she was always single, never been married, whatever. And long story short, 11th grade to like 10 years later, we started bumping heads. And I don't know. It's so interesting listening to you say what you're saying, because for me, like, I always thought it's like a Libra thing of like, you know, it would have to be something really bad for me to not be your friend anymore if we've been friends for a very long time, because I'm that kind of friend that you call me at 2 a.m. If you need me, I'm there, whatever, like probably in too much of a way. And we just like, we just stopped being friends. Like, she thought that I wasn't giving enough to the friendship that she thought that I should give. And it really hurt me. Like, to this day, it still like makes me feel like, damn, you know, like I miss her. Do I miss her? I miss parts of her, but it's just an example of like having a friend and that shit expired, but it was nothing that it was fucked up. Yeah. It was a fucked up situation, because I was still, even though I was married, divorced, going through my stuff, she liked different things. And I like, you know, she liked, a white crowd. I didn't like, you know, I like white people.
Saying, like, it changes.
I love white people. I have white friends, but she wanted to be immersed in that crowd. I did not. You know what I'm saying? She liked certain, you know, music. I did not. So it was more so of me giving and her taking, but not reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so that's a friendship that expired. But then it made me look at friendship differently from then on.
I just think, and I want to reverse just so I can clarify too. Yeah. Like, one, you guys tell us, and like, do you think friendships expire? And if they expire, is that okay? Yeah. I think it is. Within the past 3 years, I've had some long-term friendships that expired, but I decided that probably was the best route, because we were just in different spaces and we had different ideas about things, and things that we once had in common, we don't have in common anymore. And so we're holding on to a dream that...
Was it a mutual expiration?
Yeah, I feel like it just died out on both ends. And also distance sometimes create that. Like, I did move out to the States. I don't visit back home. I do visit back home, but I don't visit like that significant amount to keep that friendship solid. And so it expired. Like, I had friends that like I would consider sisters. Like, we were together for years, but then I moved on and life happens, and we occasionally still come back in a space. But when I say expire, it means like you're no longer considered my best friend, you're just considered a friend. So when I do go back home and visit, like, that's still my friend, but we're not best friends. We're not on the phone all the time, texting all the time. And that's why I say like friendships evolves, and maybe someone that was like on home base, I move them up to first base. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I shuffle friends depending on where I'm at in life. And also some friends cannot be with me in my dark moments because they'll drag me deeper. And so I may prioritize another friend that I feel will pull me out of my darkness. And that doesn't mean that that other friend is a bad friend. It's just like they're not capable to help me shake things off. And so like, and I also do feel like I'm just at that point where I do prefer more mature friends. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I think I talked about this already. Like, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. So I like friends that I can learn from. Some friends I had to like shuffle just so that I can keep myself like constantly
That's
evolving.
a good ass point, because I remember when me and that girl was friends, like, you know, she had a single life and she had a single mindset and going and running and whatever. And it's like, you know, I was a year or so older than her. But then when I started making friends with people who were like a little bit older than me and were kind of where I was trying to get, and I started surrounding myself with them, it elevated me so much. I'm like, wow, this feels good as hell. But I think she got jealous of, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm picking them over you. It was just like, I'm friends with all y'all.
I'm learning from them.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning from them. They're more so on where I am now and where I'm trying to go. You out here clubbing and partying, bitch. Like we're in two different things.
Yeah.
You know? But but see, I'm the kind of friend that I would still, especially if I was single, try to go over here and club and party with you sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? It's just not the same thing. So it's different, I feel like, if it is a mutual expiration where it's like, okay, it's fizzling off, but when it's just like, bitch, we're not friends anymore, that's hurtful. That's very hurtful.
Well, you don't break it off like that. You got to be more mature. I feel like you have to have like the real conversation.
We never did.
Yeah,
we never did.
And maybe that does deserve some closure so that there's no like confusion of where things stand. But I'm another part in my life where I'm just trying to level up to the next level. And so the friends that you guys see me around with, just know that I'm learning from them. And that's why like I'm in their space, because it's like, oh, is that what we're doing now? All right, cool, bet, let's roll. And so I just feel like it's okay. And life goes on.
So are you saying that a friendship breakup is not as bad as a mill? Is there like a, intimate?
I would say, I think the main question was like, which one's worse? And I feel like the male, like the intimate one, because that's like soul ties. That's like someone that you were all in with, and that breaking off. And again, I'm like the horrible person to ask because I've been out of the dating field the dating pool for so long. But I do think that would probably rock me. If you see me dropping
But think
pounds,
about your bestest friend in the world. And think about the person you talk to every day. And let's say y'all decide not to be friends anymore. But again, you've been married way longer than, I've been with any man. So it's like, think about you not being with your husband now. But, compare those two.
I would be hurt, but my husband was still that. Okay. I think that makes sense. That relationship, because like at the end of the day, like with all friendships, you turn them off at a certain time when you're in the bed, and you like divert your attention to who you're involved with, and that true. Not having that comfort. Your best friend can't go to sleep with you every night, and then like that's like Libras, like I love attention, and your friend can't give you that, especially if they boot up. Yeah. What if you break up with your man and your best friend's boot up? Ooh. Then what you doing?
And see, it's the friend that I talk to the most is actually married to my brother, so I feel like it's like a family situation.
Yeah. How does that work?
I hooked them. They were there. Remember at kickball? I kept going over there.
Her brother saved us.
Oh God, yeah, he did.
I feel like the guy that pulled a hamstring. I just think
who is that guy?
I don't know. He never came back. I think he faked that injury to get out the game. Moral of the story: Mel's brother had to like step in the game like mid game, and it's
shout out to Daryl.
Yeah, like, thank you, Daryl. Like because we would have had to forfeit. Like whoever the guy was, I hope you're watching this. Like I mean,
I don't know who that guy was.
We never saw him again. He lied. He was like,
he like just crawled out. He crawled back to
he crawled out the game, and he was like, I pulled a hamstring. I was like, can you get back in and finish this? He was like, I pulled a hamstring. I know. Oh my God. Sir, if you truly pulled a hamstring, an ambulance would be here. Stop lying. Right. Like, he done pissed me to hell. She's so lucky her brother was there, because I would have squared up with him. Like, I would have went in the dugout, and I would have just like started Mike Tyson him, because it's like, who the hell are you in the middle of a game to fake an injury, LeBron?
Yeah. And as a man, I feel like you should have even as soon as he got a little on that first game, I literally slid into second and third base because I was drunk. But I still kept playing. I was fine. You know what I'm saying? This man, as soon as he had a little bit of a pinch, he had to sit out. Girl.
I was on my time of the month too, and I still here showing up. Like I swear to you, like if he comes back, We're gonna come back for part 2.
Who was that dude? I don't even remember.
I don't know, but that one I need to know who he with, because I need to talk to you about your man, girl. I need to talk to you about your man.
Girl, you know what I want to talk about, but it's so shady.
What?
And I'm not gonna do that because that's really fucked up. But I was thinking about
Oh my god!
ew, but I'm sure she's probably gonna listen to this possibly. You think
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about. Okay, let me just say this. Let me say this.
I whispered it and I feel like I heard it anyway.
Y'all probably heard what she said, but I'm gonna say this. In the day and age that we're in right now, y'all gotta be careful out here in these streets, because respect people pronouns is all I'm gonna say. That umpire disrespected one of my teammates, and I was
thought it was a man.
We was about to fight because he was yelling at us before the game started, and he was like, "You got too many males on the field," and we were like, "My coach, who we talked about, we told you guys, like he's the best coach ever."
He was so calm during that.
He was so calm. My coach was like, "What are you seeing?"
He was so
He was
calm.
counting it. He was like, "We don't have too many men." And the umpire was like,
That's a man right there.
"That's a man right there," and it was a girl.
It was a girl.
And so it's like, I wanted to fight for her. She stood up for herself, and she was like,
where the hell was that? Because I do not remember. I remember the counting.
I'm gonna tell you where she was. She was in the clouds. Okay.
I remember seeing people pointing and counting, but everything that happened after that, I was like, what?
I was so mad. Like,
Wow.
first of all,
but
if you don't know, you be very careful.
No,
right?
I have to disagree with you because I
was
no
gonna fight
shade,
for her.
I thought that was a man too. Like because I was standing in behind. Like I'm gonna be honest. Me and the dude, it was a me and this dude.
Mel, I hope she's not watching this.
Listen, I'm gonna explain why. I'm going to explain why, and this is all love. I'm gonna explain why. I'm looking at this with an edible and with a couple of drinks, but also I'm looking at this from behind. I don't think she was on that field. From what I remember, I don't remember
She came
seeing
on
her.
late. She came on late.
She came on late to the
She
field.
came on late, but this is the thing, Mel. Don't act. Let me tell y'all something. Even like how I dressed today, right?
You don't have on a hoodie. You don't have on a hoodie.
Yeah, but there's times I do dress like a man. Like I love my husband's side of the closet, especially if that's that time of the month. I'm putting on his sweats.
With you.
I'm putting on his shirts,
And that's all fun.
I trying to be loose.
That's all fun.
She looked like a girl.
No, she did not.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
All right,
And listen, maybe from your angle, like maybe from your
because
angle.
I know who the person is. I'm really big on inclusivity. I'm really big on like.
It's not about inclusivity, baby.
Yeah. It was giving. To me, I needed a reason to fight the umpire. That's what it was giving.
So for me, and this is a weird conversation, but for me, I was out there. I just happened to look up, and
She was pretty far. She just saw a hoodie.
I was very, very far.
And when we say hoodie, we mean like she
a
literally
whole
had
big ass hoodie.
It was
so
really
mind
big,
you,
and a
to my
sweatpants.
right, there was it was a random white guy. I'm like, who? So I'm out here thinking. I said this guy. I said, who are you? Like, where did you
And
come
also,
from?
let's just say this: we don't have a legitimate team. So like every week we have.
Listen, you making that sound so bad.
We don't. We always have like 3 to 4 subs of random
Okay,
people.
that's true.
Hey,
That's
my name
true.
is da da da. Like
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah.
And so the moral of the story is, the umpire pissed us off because he thought our friend was a guy, and he was like yelling at her because he was like, "You're a guy, get off the field." And she, oh yeah, I said friend, my kickball mate, and we'll just say that because like.
But I have to give my side of this because I looked to the right and there was this guy who I'd never seen before. And I was like, who is this dude? So I literally said to him, who are you, right? So then I see Tyler counting. I see the ref guy counting. I'm thinking, what's going on? And I'm like, the girl popped up out of nowhere. So I'm thinking, damn, we got too many men out on this field. Because all I saw was a big hoodie. She's tall. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
what,
tall
6
too.
feet?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like she's
6'6".
tall and she had on big baggy clothes. I'm thinking, damn, we got too many niggas out here. You about to lose this shit. You know, I didn't see this right here. I didn't see any of that. It is what it is.
The hoodie was also open, so I do not agree to Mel. Like,
But you saw her from a different. I didn't see what was.
I
in
was
the front.
also on. I was in between first and second base, and so she was like in the. By the way, we like all. I just realized you're fake as ever because she loves to go in the outfield because nothing goes out to her.
That's not true. Wrong.
Nothing goes out to her. She just stands there like.
Well, that's true, but I didn't ask to be out there. They put me out there that game, and I'm like, well,
convenient.
Shit, I don't.
You
care
notice I
'cause,
stopped pitching,
listen,
right? Because one, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
I feel so bad for you when you out there pitching.
I
girl.
know you
Listen,
were, and you were
I
being
feel
so
bad.
fake. You were like, "Good job."
I was being authentic because I know how that shit feel. When people are up there about to kick, it's pressure. When you up there trying to pitch, it's pressure. So I be trying to like boost people up so they don't feel pressure.
It was pressure, guys, because like
horrible.
depending.
And you was doing a bad job.
I was doing a bad job.
She was like throwing that ball. It would be over here, supposed to go straight. Like, what is going on here? Great job, girl. You're trying.
She would definitely Family Feud me, and I'd be like,
but it was authentic. It was very authentic because I'm a serious Libra. I don't want nobody feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying, it's pressure. I know the anxiety.
Not trying.
You weren't trying?
No.
Yes, you were. You lying.
I was.
You was trying. You was out there trying.
I was trying.
You were trying.
But this is why in life, and we'll move on to the next topic real quick, but this is why in life, if you suck, just bow out.
Don't bow out. I think you should
try.
Like
Blueface, give up the rapping.
I don't like him.
I really don't. And then the only thing I'm going to say about this Chrisean and Blueface relationship, y'all got to be careful when you guys choose to hype up things that are toxic. And I'm not saying this just because I'm in the healthcare field, but there's a lot of women that will leave if you stand against what they're going through. And if you continue to hype it up, and if you continue to like nonchalant with what's happening, then they will stay. So if you truly want Chrisean to leave, you guys need to, as much as possible, send as many positive messages and remind her that she is far more than what she thinks she's capable of.
I think people are, though. I think she's a weirdo.
Yeah, but in the chat, like, also, like, I feel like a lot of these businesses are capitalizing off the drama.
Yeah, because they don't care about her or that baby or him. They care about the dollar sign.
Yeah, so it's just.
But people are in the comments like, "Girl, get out." You know, he don't. You don't need him.
Yeah,
they are. But
and
I think
especially when he can't. Like, that's the thing. Like, for me, I feel like if a relationship is running its course and you two good, I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna hype you up and be like, "Girl,
she don't have that maturity."
Yeah, but
or
also,
that confidence. Yeah.
No matter what, until she actually wants to leave, then it will actually happen.
Yeah. So I really want to tap onto this last comment. And I'm not even gonna play it. I was gonna play it, but for the sake of the time, anybody who watching, I know you've already heard this, right? So Tyler Perry's comments. I have to bring this in here, even though I'm over time. Listen, so Tyler Perry was on a podcast. It doesn't matter because it's not mine. And he was talking about how, in a nutshell, as long as a man can pay one bill for Black women, you should be okay with that. So pause. Then Funky Dineva, and I know, listen, I do love Funky Dineva. I really do. Listen, so don't, whatever. He also was saying, you know, and he wasn't saying settle for that, but he was like, well, if Black women are making all this money and they're out here doing all these things and they can't find potential mates and they don't want to date out of their race, what's the next step? So Tyler Perry, as long as he can pay one bill, you should be okay with that. What are your thoughts?
Hell motherfucking no. And don't bleep that out.
I don't bleep this shit out.
Let me tell you something. I don't even care if it's the most expensive bill. The fact that you come into the table already with the lackluster,
right?
You not eating on my table. Go through drive-thru and find another bitch. So no, it's a hell no. And I don't appreciate when men already like have this like this cockiness when it comes to what at least I do. I mean, if at least I'm home at night, you know, like it doesn't matter. You could be in the house and cheating. You ain't shit. So no, and I'm glad who's on the podcast with him. I didn't see it.
I don't know that lady. Some lady
absolutely not. And this is why I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers and respect to our older generation. Right. This is why y'all mama and y'all aunties all stayed when the neighbor 3 houses down, when the dad went and had kids with the neighbor 3 houses down. Like, you know what they say? Like, our grandparents, like, they stayed, right? They didn't have nothing. Sure. Yeah. They had nothing, and they stayed. Yeah. And that grandpa Papa was a Rolling Stone out here having kids and kids and kids. Yeah. And they stayed. And that was because, again, they were given that assumption that, oh, at least he's providing, right? At least he's providing. The moment you start to like at any point make it seem like, well, at least when someone said at least, that's a red flag. That's a red flag to me in a relationship. Jesus. That's a red flag to me in a friendship, and that's a red flag with me with a business or a job that I'm trying to join. The word at least means that you're giving the bare minimum. So I don't want you as a friend, I don't want you as an employer, and I don't want you as a spouse. So that was the red flag that y'all should have heard when they said at least.
Okay, so I'll have to give a different side of this because I agree with everything you're saying. But at least, so think about this, and this is just, okay. Because my mom is 70-something years old, and I think I told you her saying, right? I told you that Friday night. Yeah. Maybe I didn't. But she's just like, you know, I'm not saying I agree with this, But her saying was, to your point, back in the day, a piece of a man is better than no man at all.
You see what I mean?
So if you have a man, let's say that's paying the bills, let's say he is taking care of your kid or of y'all's kids, and he's doing this and doing that, but he's not doing this. Well, at least he's doing those other things. That's an at least. So I don't know.
No.
I
would accept at least if you're like, okay, let me give you at least.
Yeah. Clarify.
If my man, and this is pretty true, and this is why I say I pick and choose my battles with my man. Sometimes he cooks, but he ain't the best cleaner after. He will do the dishes, but he never wipes down the stove. He does the dishes. He puts it with the food, and in my mind, I said, at least he cooked.
Yeah.
That is different, right? Because in my mind, I was like, you cooked, right? That is an okay-ish, at least. I think my man is getting better at that because I'm stressing like, hey, I love everything you're doing, but like that one thing, you're going to hurt me with that one thing. So like he's like making strides.
Is he receptive to that?
He is, because that's what I'm saying. Like I would say like out of 4 to 5 times he cooks, like maybe the 3 times he will wipe the stove. He'll miss it one time, but it just depends.
That's major.
But at least he's cooking. And we don't also have gender roles. So I'm saying like at least I gotta listen to the whole thing to determine like if it's appropriate or not. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not okay with that. At least I do not like to settle. I do not like to settle. I do not like to settle with employers. You know, one reason why I always get the jobs that I get. Why? Every interview that I interviewed on, I always got offered a job, because when I go in there, you need me more than I need you. Right. And I always think about that in life. You need me more than I need you. So when I say humble, humble right there. No, but that's some facts for y'all, right? Like even with a relationship, like
that's affirmation.
When you start giving more and that person giving you less, you're going to start feeling like you're pouring from an empty cup. So when I say, when you go out there, I'm not saying to don't give it your all, but just make sure that person is matching your energy. Right. Make sure that employer is matching your energy. If you truly want me, I ain't got to fight for it in this interview. It's going to naturally happen. I believe this, and I think this is a spiritual thing where I feel like God, if it's meant to be, it will be. Right. Every time we put an offer in a house, I never freaked out when the offer didn't go through, because then it wasn't meant to be. Right? I walk by faith, and I'm like so really like big on that at least. Oh yeah. I don't know, Mel. You got to finish that sentence before I say like. Okay.
So yeah, I agree. What I don't like is this narrative. I feel like it's always pushed to one demographic and one race, and then I feel like it's Black women, and I feel like Tyler Perry, and this, I think I said this before in other episodes. I feel like he hates us, and I do feel like he capitalizes on Black women, but then tells us to settle, tells us stupid shit like this, like that. Pisses me off. Yeah. As a Black woman, I'm sorry. I mean, even though I was in a dating scene more than you were in terms of like, you know, you've been married for a long time. I ain't never dealing with no man who is a bum, who doesn't have that minimum of what I have. And right. Because this is the thing. There's a lot of niggas out here. And I'm sorry, that narrative that there's not a lot of men out here, I truly don't believe that. I truly, truly do not believe that. When I was dating, and listen, a lot of that shit was my fault when this shit didn't work out, you know, whatever. But there are a lot of men out there. Yeah, I will admit that every day, all day. Like I was very immature for a long period of my dating life before my current relationship. Very, very immature. And so I feel like we have to stop the bullshit with there's not, and I know that I might be wrong, but it's just not been my experience. And if you are in a space where we're finding a husband, finding a partner is very, very serious to you, I think you should get out of your race. I think you should relocate. If you're not finding that particular person or that particular demographic in your area, I don't want to go with the narrative of just settle for a man paying the bill versus a man that you want. Don't like that. Yeah. And I'm tired of that for us.
Why do we always gotta be like the struggle in his movies? And I feel like that's also another one. Like we always like, look at Helen. Yo, like, oh my God. Always like, and I could just go on and on with the different type of movies.
And what does that mean? Like, I want want you, if he comes on this podcast, I want to talk about that. Why are you portraying this in your movies? You're not only portraying this in your movies, now you're actually announcing this literally on podcast for everybody to see.
It literally spreads the stereotype.
It does.
Like, it just tells people, like, this is what we do. We, like, especially for the Medea character, I think she's funny. Like, don't get me wrong, I think she's funny. But I also think that we're playing on these, like, Black
stereotypes,
microaggression stereotypes like that exist, and it's just not ideal. And
it's pushing that movement further.
Yeah, and then, like, when you're trying to break into the acting field and you're trying to work with Tyler Perry movies, just know that you're probably going to have to play a role that you're like, this is not who I am. Like, why can't I be this smart, rich person? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Janet Jackson. She was supposed to be this wild person and boom, caught HIV. And then it's like, I just feel like, for me, I feel like Black men that think like that, they just want to continue the trauma that Black women go through. We are changing and breaking barriers. Like, the thing about, like, men being breadwinners, like, that's just, like, non-existent. It's okay for two people to be breadwinners. It's okay for one person to be breadwinners. I don't think you have to be in a relationship where you know, like, I just think it's okay for, like, two people to have success and still be successful. But I do not want to feel like I'm losing myself in a relationship because I'm just like, at least he comes home at night, even though he's cheating on me. At least I'm the one he sleep with. No, girl, then you, no matter what, you're struggling.
He pays one bill. Like, and literally he said in the interview, he's like, at least he pays one bill, and at least he'll take me out to dinner every now and again. Like, no, I want to be out to dinner every weekend. Sorry. Like, no.
Yeah, I don't ever want to stop dating my partner. And it was a period in time where we just got caught up in life and we did stop dating.
Happens,
and I am gonna say that communication is really important. Therapy is really important. And the key thing is, when you start hearing stuff like that, please don't take note of it and be like, okay, yeah, like that. No, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think what we're saying is that, I don't want to say F you, Tyler Perry, because I be tagging him to my clips, hoping he's gonna, like, you know. But now I don't even tag him anymore.
We're not trying to be in the shade room. And that's not where we're trying to end up
he's
at.
On the shade room. I feel like he need to be on the shade room getting bashed, because I feel like, honestly, I'm not a believer in canceling somebody or bashing somebody. I don't believe in that. But I feel like there should be a swarm of people going against him, because he needs to understand what you're saying we don't agree with, and that's horrible. It is horrible to push that narrative out there. And truly, what everybody not saying is, like, do you just want these niggas for yourself? Like, do you want these men for yourself? That's why you don't want us to have them, because that's what it's giving.
Yeah, and look what Krishan's doing, right? Like, at least, I think she, like, wrote a status about, like, at least I'm signed to him and we get money together. You can get money with someone. I'm sure Whitney and Bobby was getting money together, and then it still doesn't mean that relationship's healthy.
Right. It's horrible. Listen, how was your first experience on the show?
I loved it. Honestly, I was a little nervous.
Were you nervous?
I'm trying.
The first 5 minutes is always kind of, like, weird.
I'm trying not to get canceled, and it's like, okay, like, we're like, like, do we tap into that? But it's like, no, like, to be honest, like, I want to watch, like, authentic Black podcasts that I feel like I can learn from, and I hope that you guys felt like that. Like, I felt like the energy just made sense, and the topics were good. And so, to be honest, I really enjoyed it. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous in the beginning. I was just like,
why were you nervous?
I just don't know. Like, you just don't want to say the wrong thing, and then you have to be that person to come back and be like, I just want to apologize. I want to apologize and clarify. Like, everything that I said, I truly meant it. I probably didn't expand on it as much as I wanted to expand on, but it really is. And the only thing I didn't comment on is, like, I feel bare naked.
Girl, I'm always talking. My first couple podcasts, my friend was like, "Girl, why are your nails like?"
My nails look crazy, and the funny thing is, like, I caught a ball on Friday, and I broke a couple of my nails on the field. Oh my God! And then I look over to Mel, and she's like, "It's okay, girl. You caught the ball." Like, y'all, my whole left hand, I lost 3 nails in that one catch, and so I only had my right hand. I had to bite that off because it's like, I cannot go on a podcast with only, like, 7 nails on.
Were you nervous whenever that ball was coming towards you?
I absolutely was nervous. I probably pissed myself too. Like, low-key, I probably, like,
that's why I was out there laughing. Like, bitch, I know you about to chill your.
She was laughing at me because, like, the ball was coming in slow motion.
That is slow.
I heard her in my ear, like, get it. It was.
But then I said no pressure, because then I'm like, oh shit, that was me. I'd be so scared.
She kept saying no pressure, which means pressure. I just wanted to vomit. Like, y'all,
I was so scared for you.
I was gonna vomit on the field if I didn't catch that ball.
And you know, a ball came towards me that I tried to catch, but then it fumbled out of my hands. I said, fuck it, I don't even care. When a ball is coming to you,
that's different.
That is one of the worst.
And thank God I'm not dating, because, like, like that's the worst thing to be looking like a fool on a feet in front of your man.
Oh my God.
But it's okay. Like the next time I'll be on here, I'll have my nails done. I found a new nail girl, and I'll try her out and let you. Yeah, I'm trying to tap more into like Black business owners. Like we gotta support. It's a hit or miss because some of them come with like this long speech and that your hair needs to be combed out, your hair needs to be democratic, you need to be registered to vote.
I need your blood from you.
I need to check your COVID status, like all of these things just to book a hair appointment. I ain't got time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have an episode that I need to do a part 2 on about Black businesses. And I'm still trying, I'm still getting burned in sometimes, but I'm still pro Black businesses. I'm gonna try you out.
But
they always.
I just feel like I refer them all the time, and I never get a referral discount. So that's my only like subliminal shade. I really feel like you guys should invest more in discounts because I'm telling my sister girls and everybody, and they book it, and y'all, I come back and I don't even get a pencil off.
You know, one thing you said that's very, very true that I always struggle with on the podcast is like trying not to be canceled, because I be having some views that are really probably
people write negative comments about what you say.
The most negative post with the most negative comments on it was when I was that guy that was saying he got ghosted, and I was saying how it's so dumb to go on a first date and have like if you're online dating, I think it's very stupid to go and expect some man to pay for, and not even pay for it, that's not the point, but the pressure of sitting down at a sit down dinner for somebody you're just meeting for the first time. I don't subscribe to that. I think that's weird. If you're online dating and y'all are meeting for the first time, have a drink. Hey, let's meet up for a drink. And they came for me, girl. Look at my page. It was like a whole list of people all she want to do is have a drink. Bitch, hell yeah, I want to have a drink because I don't even know you. You don't know me.
That's not fair. I actually agree with that. Imagine sitting down in a restaurant.
And that happened to me before.
You can't even abort mission.
No.
Like you have to go through all the courses, give the waiter time to cancel.
I literally
said
that.
What if it was Jeffrey Dahmer?
Right.
Don't you want to take your drink and run?
Right.
So
you can pick up, especially if you're mature, you can pick up having drinks with somebody if there's somebody you want to even sit down and break bread with. Let me sit down and you don't have to drink. Like it's not about having a drink, but let's sit down and have an appetizer, or not even that. Again, my real part is let's have a drink. And if you don't drink, I probably won't date you. If you can't sit down and have a glass of wine, you're not my kind of person.
No, I'm for that. I'm also for an activity, like something that like breaks the ice. That if we have pause in the conversation, it's not like
I like bowling.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
you gotta be creative.
I would not want to sit down at a restaurant until
wait for the waiter to come, wait for the drinks to come, wait for the check to come.
Like no. And then like while you guys are eating, because you already don't know each other, you have to like awkwardly have the conversations. That's an awkward thing to get canceled for. So I hope they like this episode and we don't get canceled.
They will. Tell the viewers and listeners where they can find you.
Okay, so it depends on the type of viewer that you are. Like I'm on Instagram, so my Instagram is @callmerady. I am not a content developer. Like I'm on there for some shits and giggles, to be honest. So if you are
like the kickball.
Yeah, like literally. If you're a millennial and you just want to laugh and joke around, I do have island background. So like majority of my stuff is just like really crazy stuff. Like consider myself a junior Rihanna. Follow me on Instagram. If you are interested in my public healthcare, fake Michelle Obama personality, then follow me on LinkedIn. Radiance. But
so scary.
I just have like 2 different personalities. I'm like those people that like when you see me on social media, like it depends which social media you're viewing me on. Facebook, I'm heavily within my sorority. On Instagram, I'm heavily within like the shits and giggles. And then on LinkedIn, I'm trying to run for president.
Right.
So which Radiance you want, that's the one that you will follow.
Exactly. Y'all listen, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube. Make sure that you follow us, both of us, on Instagram. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, make sure you give us some show ideas. Listen, I'm open for the conversation. We will see you next week.
Bye guys.